Sheldon Adelson is one of those filthy, evil, nasty people who has no interest in the United States. None whatsoever, except as a base of his operations. He doesn't give a shit if this country goes down tomorrow, because he knows that he won't go with it. He's got all the gambling operations in, where? Hong Kong, Macau, I don't know, all over the place. Las Vegas, who knows? But he's scum. He's just an absolute, instead of taking his money and spending it on whatever the hell he wants to spend it on, he's an old fucker. He's not going to be alive that much longer. I mean, just statistics, actuarial facts will eventually catch up with why he's not out spending his money, enjoying what, maybe he could get a hair transplant. That red shit that he has dyed and growing out of his hair, what is that? You've seen that dye job, Kathy, right? Jesus God. and he's a man who has crossed that gender differential line that a lot of old men cross, where all of a sudden with their colored hair and their attitudes and so on and so forth, and they start to become undefinable. You see him from 10 feet away, except for the clothing. Is that an old man or an old woman? It's hard to tell. I mean, the guy is just deteriorating right in front of everybody who's looking at his ugly ass. But why he's not taking his billions and having fun? Sheldon, what? You think you're going to live forever? Newsflash, you're not. Nobody does. But he and his old lady, Miriam, have been very, very cheesy. About $3 million. That's all they've given. This is a guy, what did he say at the beginning of this election cycle? He'd be willing to spend $500 million to get what he wanted. Doesn't that, I mean, just to make a statement like that, that just, I can feel my guts just tighten up. Somebody who can make that statement, I'll spend $500 million to get what I want politically. Well, who the fuck are you? What do you mean? What about the rest of us who live here? What about the rest of us who don't have $500 million, you turd? We can't spend that kind of money to get what we want. Who are you? What gives Sheldon Adelson or the Koch brothers or any of these slime the right to even say something like that, much less bring it to fruition? I've got so goddamn much money, I can do anything I want to do. Really? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. You can begin in the morning with Bill Press and then end your day screaming with me, Mike Malloy, weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.